little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm going to show you a really remarkably easy and very, very fun shawl that I call the Parquet shawl because it reminds me of parquet flooring. And it's done in one of my favorite stitches. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I love the granny stitch. So I incorporated the two, and there you have it. So very, very simple. This is not so much of a pattern, more of a formula, because you can tweak this however you want. You can make this as big or as small as you want. Really, it's very, very, very adaptable, which I love. Now, in this lighting, it almost looks black, but actually it is a burgundy color, along with a gray and an antique white. This is Pound of Love by Lion Brand. No, not sponsored, but if you want to duplicate the results, you can. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver in 3 lovely purple colors. Oh yeah, nicely coordinated. Love this. Also, this would be a great stash buster, provided, of course, that you're using yarn weights that are as close to each other as possible. Preferably use the same brand if you can. That would be great. And like I said, this is very, very versatile, and it is a top-down, so it grows as you go. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before I go any further, with this piece that I did, I used a size H 5mm hook because this is a rather thin 4-weight, but for today's example, because I'm using the Red Heart Super Saver, I'm going to be using a size 5.5mm, a size I. You can really use whatever works for you. It's not set in stone. No, no, no. If you're looking for something a bit more drapey, by all means, go for it. I know what works for me. So that's what works for me, so that's what I'm doing. But, by all means, do what works for you. So we're going to start with, of course, yes, our obligatory slip knot. Yes, yes. And we need to have clusters. Now this, like I said, it starts in the top center. So we need some clusters. And this is very similar to another tutorial that I did for just a regular granny shawl. So if you've done one of those, this will be easy as pie for you. So we're going to start by chaining 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be our first double, but we need a bit more because we need a chain 1 space plus this first chain is going to be where we hold all of our stitches. So technically we need a total of 5 chains to begin with because we need a double crochet, a chain 1 space, and our first loop is going to act as our magic ring. You can, of course, say, chain 4, slip stitch, and you have a ring that way. This is my preferred method. So after chaining 5, we need 3 double crochets into that first chain. Like so. See, we have a double crochet and chain 1 space right at the beginning, which is what we need. Yes, yes. Then chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into that first chain. So this is going to set up our foundation. So we have 2 clusters of 3 doubles. Now to finish this row, we need to chain 1 and double crochet into that same chain. And then quite simply, you can just sort of cinch that up and you can sew in the end whenever you feel like. All right, so that is the end of the first row. All right, and we're going to be doing a number of rows for the foundation triangle, and it's just going to follow suit over and over and over. So, it's really nothing too daunting, I promise you. All right, let's continue. Okay, so we did one row, and I'm going to continue on with 3 more rows for a total of 4. So start by chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work, and into that chain 1 space, we make our first cluster of 3 doubles. So that's 1, 2, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then into the center spine space, 3 doubles, and 2, and 3. Chain 2, 3 more doubles into the same space. 1, 2, whoop, hello, and 3, chain 1, and into the last space, 3 doubles, chain 1, and 1 double. And you can really do as many of these rows as you want to for your foundation triangle. I'm going to do a total of 4 because that seemed to work nicely for me. But, really, the number of rows for the foundation triangle, totally a matter of personal preference, okay? So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to do 2 more rows, just because. So chaining up 4, turn the work into that chain 1 space, 3 doubles. And what's nice about this pattern really is that every row begins the same way, which I absolutely love. It's very, very, very simple. Okay. So after chaining 4 and doing your 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. Now also, it may be your preference not to do chain stitches in between your clusters. That is totally up to you, And I know that there are umpteen million ways of doing the granny stitch, so my way is not the end-all be-all, but it's how I do it, and, if you care to follow along, hey, welcome. So after doing my 3 doubles and my chain 1, we're into the center spine again. So that's 3 doubles, and then a chaining of 2, and 3 more doubles, oops, By the way, I hope you are all having a really lovely day. Absolutely gorgeous fall weather here, nice and crisp. Okay, so I've got my 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, chain 1, into the next chain 1 space, 3 doubles, chain 1, and then again into that space at the end, 3 doubles, chain 1, and a double, all into that space. So I've got my 3 doubles, my chain 1, and one more double. So we've got 3 rows, just one more, and then my foundation will be nice and done. So I'm going to chain 4 again, turn the work, and 3 doubles into that first space. Okay, one more. Chain 1. 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1. 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Just pull out a little bit more yarn here. And I love, 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 love the granny stitch because you're working into the chain spaces, not into the stitches themselves, which makes this project really fly by. So we've reached the spine here, the center spine. So again, after doing your last cluster and a chaining of 1, going into that chain 2 space with 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. Alrighty, chain 1, and we're going to do the same thing along this side. So after doing your 2 clusters here, you chain 1 and going into this space with 3 doubles, chain 1, next space, 3 doubles, chain 1, and into the end space, 3 doubles, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Chain 1 and 1 double crochet. And that, my dears, is the beginning. Now, like I said before, it really is a matter of personal preference. You can make this as big or as small as you want to. You could even make an entire shawl just doing that same 1 row repeat that I just showed you right now. However, we are going to get into the fun stuff in just a moment. So grab your second color of ball and let's hop to it. Alrighty. Alrighty, so I already cut my yarn, leaving a nice long tail so that I can sew in the ends later. Now, to start our next color, we can do this in one of 2 ways. One way would be to start at this corner, and you can take your new fresh yarn, and you can pull up a loop from that space right there, and then you can chain up 4, and then continue on your way. Or another way, which I kind of prefer, is to undo this last double crochet, no big deal, being sure not to also get rid of your chain 1, you need that. So start your double crochet, but don't finish it. No, instead, when you have 2 loops left on your hook there, then you grab your fresh yarn and you pull that through, like so. And, you can tighten that up a little bit, and, you can knot those 2 ends together and sew in the ends later. No biggie. So either way. So after joining on your new yarn, whichever way you prefer, chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn your work, and we are going to essentially be doing the same thing until we reach the center spine. So after chaining up 4 into the chain 1 space, 3 double crochets, chain 1, next chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. Like I said, this is really, really, really easy. So if you have any experience with the granny stitch, this will be old hat to you. If you don't have any experience with the granny stitch, this is a great first project. And so it's just a matter of chaining 1, 3 double crochets into each chain space. So easy. All right, then when you reach your center spine, so you're chaining 1 and doing your 3 doubles into that space. Do not chain 2. No, no, no. Because we don't want to continue going on down this side. No, we want to go back where we started from, back to here. So to do that, we need to create an open space right here. To do that, chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then turn your work, and we're going to go back to where we started. So after chaining up 4, going into the chain 1 space with 3 doubles. And see, what we're doing right now is this space right here, we're going to be able to work into on subsequent rows. Now, as far as the Parquet design is concerned, you can make the slats, if you will. You can make them however wide you want to. What I did for my example piece, I did a total of 6 rows because I thought that was a nice substantial width for the slats. That's just a word I'm using, the slats, because it makes me think of, like I said, parquet flooring. And you can really do as many rows as you want to. And again, when I'm finishing up here, I'm doing my 3 doubles, chain 1, and 1 double. Always starts and ends the same way at the edges. Same deal. Okay, now the important thing is, I could leave off right here and then go on to my next slat. The important thing is that it's an even number because you need this open space at the edge here, okay? So you wouldn't do just 1 row or 3 rows. No, you would want to do a multiple of 2, okay? An even number of rows. That is the important thing as far as the formula is concerned, okay? Other than that, you can really take a lot of liberty. You can do stripes. You can do really whatever, as long as you have an even number of rows per slat, if you will. So again, to continue, it'd just be a matter of chaining up 4, turn the work, and going into my first chain 1 space with 3 doubles. And then a chaining of 1, and then 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. It's really the same thing over and over and over, and by no means do I wish to be redundant. I wish to be thorough. That is my aim and my goal. Because I love this, and I want you to love it too. So it's just, your 3 doubles into each space separated by a chain 1 space. It's really that easy. And the other thing to keep in mind is that when you are making your slats, if you want it to be symmetrical as far as the weight of the slats, you would want the slats to be an even, or not an even, a balanced number of rows. So if you do 4 rows on one slat on one side, you're going to want 4 rows on the other slat that you're going to continue on the other side. And we're going to get to that. So right now I've reached the top, and I have my open space here. So what I need to do is, after doing my 3 doubles and my chain 1, go into this space right here with 3 doubles. Now you could do a different number of rows on one side as opposed to the other. However, it will create an asymmetric look. If that's what you're going for, by all means, get creative, do it, But if you want symmetry, you want to keep it, balanced on either side. So after doing your 3 doubles into that chain 4 space, which is technically a double crochet and a chain 1, so then you would chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn your work, go into the chain 1 space with your 3 doubles just as we have been, and work your way back to the beginning of the row. Chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles. You can eventually get to the point where you can do this proverbially in your sleep. This is a great project to work on when there are a lot of distractions around. If the TV is on, or if somebody is just dying to tell you a juicy bit of gossip, you can do 2 things at once. It's no problem. All right, and we are almost at the end of this row. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing a total of 6 rows for this slat. I'm going to do the next 2 off camera. But when you reach the end, you just do your 3 doubles, chain 1, 1 double into that same end space. So I got my 3 doubles, chain 1, and 1 more double. All right, so you just keep going until you are comfortable with the width of your slat. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more rows off camera, and I'll meet back up with you when I'm ready to continue. Back in a flash. Alrighty, so I finished my 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the light purple. Now, here's an extra bonus for you. Instead of continuing on by doing a slat down this side, what you could conceivably do is continue on by building off of this side right here, and it will still retain its shape of a really nice even triangle, but it will be graduated. This would be the one tip. Picture this really much bigger. This would be one tip right here. This would be the other tip, and this would be obviously the bottom, and it would just keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger this way in an exponentially larger fashion. So actually you get a 2-for-1, little thing that just occurred to me, go figure. And it would not be asymmetric. It would still be symmetric as long as you keep going on in the same fashion. So little extra bit for you. So now, as far as continuing on with the second slat, we're going to start with this corner here. Okay, so to do that, I've got my yarn all ready. And so going into that end loop at that corner, just going to pull up a loop, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, turn the work, and now we're going to work across this edge till we reach the center, if you will, the center sort of spine that we had previously, although it looks a little bit weird, but it does work. That's the beauty of this. So after chaining up 4, going into that first space with 3 doubles, again, nothing new. Alrighty. and then chain 1, 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space, and just continuing right along until we reach the spine, if you will. And then going on in exactly the same fashion for the first slat. And because we created those holes, excuse me, at the end of doing our second rows, it totally works. See, right now, this was the initial spine space, and we're going to work right into that space, okay, with our 3 doubles. If I can get there. Chain 1, and then work into these spaces right here, just as we have been. You see? Easy as that. And chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space. Chain 1 and 3 doubles into the last space. All right, so now we're going to continue and going into the opposite direction. Now, before I go any further, let me just show you, sort of pan out here just a little to show you where we're at. Isn't that gorgeous, even as it is? Absolutely gorgeous. I love how these colors work together. Nice contrast, nice harmony. And so now we're just going to go back in the opposite direction to continue working on our slat. And because I did 6 rows for this slat, this one is also going to get 6. You know, as long as the slats are balanced and it's an even number of rows per slat, you can't go wrong. So again, I'm going to chain 4, turn the work, and into the chain 1 space there, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and 3 doubles. I tell you, I just love, 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 love how you can manipulate the granny into so many different ways. This just being the tip of the iceberg. Just keep doing your chain 1s and 3 doubles into each chain 1 space all the way until you reach the beginning where you started your row. And as always, when you do, it's always 3 doubles, chain 1, and 1 double, because you need that space. Okay, almost there. All right. Oh, almost. Chain 1. And so in that last space right there, 3 doubles, chain 1, and 1 double. That's 2 rows of my new fresh slat. So I'm going to do 4 more rows off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I did 6 rows in the dark purple, and give you a nice look-see as to how that is. I love it. Absolutely love it. So then, to continue on, I would then go on at this corner. And for my finished piece, keep in mind it was, I mean, the label says it's a weight of 4. I say that the Pound of Love is a weight of 3, and a size H hook. I did 7 of these slats on each side, okay? So not including this center triangle. So 7 slats on this side, 7 on this side, and it was rather sizable. Now, because I'm using a slightly larger hook and a slightly thicker yarn, perhaps I would only need 6 on each side. Regardless, it's totally an adjustable way of, creating your shawl. And then, so to continue on, just so that we're on the same page, I would, like I said, I would continue on by using the middle shade, because if you're only using 3 colors, which is what I did for my initial piece, personally, I don't like the idea of the colors touching. I like the separation. So, this next color on this edge would be the middle, and then when I go back, this edge would be done in the light. So if you take a look at the intro or the outro of my video and pause it, you can see the colors and how they work together, perhaps just a little bit better. So again, I undid my last double crochet, kept the chain stitch in there, and so starting the double but not finishing it, then grabbing my new yarn and then pulling through those 2 loops, and then voila, we have our new yarn. Chain up 4, turn the work. And also, I would advise to sew in your ends as you go, because they become quite numerous, believe you me. So into that chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. Alrighty, and then chain 1 and 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space, etc., etc., et al. And it's really, really that easy. I know I keep saying it's easy because, well, it is, but I just can't get over how lovely the visual is, and yet the process is very, very simplistic. Two elements that I really, really like, believe you me. So then when you get to the end, you do the same exact thing. It just takes a little bit longer to get there, that's all. Because each time you keep growing and growing and growing. So just gonna keep on shuffling off. Moving right along, footloose and fancy free. All right, and then, so I've reached this point where we've got our join between the slats. So just going in as we have been with 3 doubles. And chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space. And it may seem weird because this double crochet, obviously it's more chains than a chain 1 space, but the 3 doubles that you're crocheting into it, they sort of arrange themselves and space themselves out, so it does lay flat, as you can see on my intro. And then so when you reach the center, once again, just do your 3 doubles, and then we can chain 4 and turn our work. All right, so we got that. Can't go any further, so chain 4, 1, 2. 3, and 4. And then turn our work. And then going into that first chain 1 space with 3 doubles. Chain 1 and 3 doubles. And we just keep going. And that really is all that there is to it. You just keep going in the same fashion, and it's great. I hope you like it too. If so, please give me a little thumbs up button down below because I really do appreciate your appreciation. We're all in this together. So also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already because I do try to post videos as often as I can, whether it's crocheting, knitting, audiobook narration, or please do visit my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, where I do lots of fun video gameplay and commentary. It's a lot of fun. Feel free to check it out. And so until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.